Lyon is the second largest city in France and one of the most popular destinations for international students. If this is your destination or you're considering it, I am Morgane from Erasmus Play, and in this video I'll give you the ultimate guide for international students in Lyon. Let's start! Accommodation is one of the first tasks you will have to deal with, and it will obviously shape your experience abroad. And if you're wondering whether it's better to live in a shared flat or in a residence, well, really, there's no right answer. It all depends on you and your preferences. But it's important to weigh the pros and cons of every option. In Lyon, you will find both options. The most economical option is obviously the public residences. And for that, you might have heard about the 𝒂𝒏. It's a public organization that manages public residences and restaurants in France. But as it is the most economical option, you can imagine there are a lot of demand, and the offer is quite limited. So if you want to request a spot in one of these residences, we advise you to do it well in advance. In this city, you will also find private residences. And although they are not as cheap as public residences or private flats, they sometimes include more services. One of the most famous residences is the Cardinal campus Studio 7. But if you decide to live in a shared flat and you're wondering which ones are the best areas to live in, it is important to know that Lyon is divided into 9 districts or arrondissements. Most students look for accommodation in Vieux-Lyon, which is the city's medieval and Renaissance district. It is located on the banks of the Saône River and is very well connected to other areas of the city by public transport. You will also find many services and monuments. However, we recommend that first you check where your university or your faculty is located exactly in the city, as this will save you time and money on transport. For example, if you're going to study at the University Claude Bernard Lyon 1 or also INSA Lyon, the town called Villeurbanne, which is very close to Lyon, is a very good option. It is very close to both universities and has a very lively student atmosphere. And although it is considered as a different town, it is very well connected by public transport. But there is also some areas that we recommend you to avoid. One of which is La Guillotière. Located in part of the 7th arrondissement, we can consider it the most unsafe and dangerous part of the city. And now we come to the favorite part of this channel, the gastronomy. And Lyon is known as the gastronomic capital of France. And some of the dishes you must absolutely try during your stay there are le saucisson de Lyon. It's a type of dry sausage typical of the city, characterized by its intense flavor and firm texture. You must also try andouillette. It's a sausage made from pork intestines that is considered a delicacy in the region. It may seem unusual to some, and it is. But in France, it is highly prized for its unique flavor. Then you can also try quenelle. It's a type of soft and delicate meatball made with a mixture of fish, poultry or beef. They're usually accompanied by a creamy sauce, like for example, sauce lyonnaise. And finally, you should try the Beaujolais. It's a young, fruity red wine that pairs very well with the local cuisine. And finally, we'll tell you about bouchons lyonnais, which are the typical restaurants in Lyon that serve typical food. The dishes are usually rustic and full of flavors. You cannot live without trying one of their specialties, such as 𝒂𝒏𝒍𝒂𝒅, which is breaded beef tripe, or cervelle de canut, which is fresh cheese with herbs. And when it comes to leisure and partying, Lyon is the second most populated city in France. So, as you can imagine, every year it welcomes hundreds of international students, which makes for an incredible atmosphere. Students usually spend their afternoon having a drink in Vieux-Lyon, but also in bars and cafes around the Saône River. In this city, you can go out partying almost every day of the week. And there are options for all tastes. Some of the nightclubs and clubs students usually go to are the Hard Rock Cafe, Le Plouf and La Ferrière. It is also very typical to go for a drink on the boat moored on the city's 2 rivers, the Saône and the Rhône. These boats become nightclubs or bars at nighttime. But of course, it is not all about partying. In Lyon, you can find endless activities. If, for example, you like to go to museums, Lyon has a wide range to choose from. As for the cost of living, we have to say that Lyon is not a cheap city. But don't worry, because there are hundreds of discounts for students. Accommodation will obviously be your first expense when you live abroad. And although the cost of accommodation will depend on many factors, to give you an idea, a room in Lyon costs around 500 to 550 euros a month. In terms of transport, the city has 4 metro lines, 4 tram lines and numerous bus routes, all operated by TCL. The travel passes are usually cheaper for students and young people. It usually costs about 25 to 30 euros a month. And finally, we highly recommend you to apply for the 𝒂𝒏 grant. It is a financial assistance offered by the French government to residents in France to help them pay accommodation. If you want to know more about the 𝒂𝒏, we recommend you to watch our video right here. We explain you everything. And since it's not all going to be about partying, here are some of the places you must visit during your stay in Lyon. It is a city with over 2,000 years of history, culture and architectural beauty. This is why some of its neighborhoods have been declared World Heritage Sites by the UNESCO. Some of the places we recommend you to visit during your stay in Lyon are, of course, the Vieux Lyon. You can explore the old town of the city, which, as we mentioned earlier, is a World Heritage Site of the UNESCO. Its cobbled streets, Renaissance buildings and Traboul, don't worry, if you don't know what it is, I'll explain you later. But basically, they're secret passageways that will transport you to medieval times. You should also visit the Basilica of Notre-Dame de Fourvière. It is located on the Fourvière Hill and it offers great panoramic views of the city. The interior is equally as beautiful with elaborate decoration and stained glass windows. Then, Saint-Jean Cathedral is an impressive Gothic cathedral which is located in the heart of the old town. You can climb up the tower for a panoramic view. Then, as we mentioned before, the Traboul. They are secret passageways and alleyways that connect building and inner courtyards, some of which are public and others are private. And finally, Les Halles de Lyon Paul Bocuse. It's a covered food market where you can taste local products such as cheese, meat and other delicacies. And as you probably know, studying abroad is the perfect opportunity to travel. Traveling from Lyon is relatively easy as the city has good transport links to other destinations, whether in France or abroad. Some of the options for traveling from Lyon are the train, as one of the largest stations in Europe, but also by bus. You have companies such as Flixbus, who offers lines nationally and internationally. And then you can also travel by plane, which is the fastest option because Lyon has an airport. Some of the trips we recommend you to take from Lyon are the following ones. The first one, of course, is Paris, the capital of the country. It is about 2 hours away by high-speed train, and there you can enjoy famous monuments, for example, the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, or also Montmartre. You can also go to Marseille. It is one of the biggest cities in France. It's about 3 hours away by train from Lyon. There you can enjoy the Mediterranean coast, the old ports and provincial cuisine. Another option is to go to the French Riviera and also to Côte d'Azur in the south of France. Both are accessible by train or by plane and offer beaches, culture and scenic beauty. Another destination, Annecy. It's a beautiful city and it is actually known as the Venice of the Alps. Located about an hour and a half by car from Lyon, there you can enjoy its lake, canals and alpine beauty. And finally, Geneva. This Swiss city is about 2 hours away by train from Lyon, and there you can explore Lake Geneva and visit international organizations such as the United Nations. And finally, if you made it this far, you cannot live without some of the tips that Erasmus Play has prepared for you. Firstly, as we mentioned before, don't forget to ask for the 𝒂𝒏 financial help. All residents in France can apply for it, and a little financial help always come handy. Another tip is to become a member of student associations, as they organize events, parties and trips with international students. And last but not least, remember to apply for the European Health Insurance Card if you come from a European country. In this video, we explain you how to do it step by step. And that's it for today's video. From Erasmus Play, we hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to activate the notifications bell to be advised when we post a new video. We also leave you our social media in the description box, and we'll see you very soon with new videos. Bye bye, assistant!